Okay, this is a price reduction conversation. This is just going to be assumed in person, so Kara and I will be role-playing this. So Kara has not been, she's never role-played this, so I have given her a bit of a script to follow for objections. I don't have a script in front of me, obviously, so we're just going to go through this step by step. The situation is she is selling her home in Pond Mills. It's been up for 10 days at this point. It's listed at $425,000, which for a detached home in Pond Mills, the reality is it's probably more like $600,000, but it depends on the home, I guess. So we're just going to call it $425,000, and I want to get it adjusted to $400,000 as it's been up for 10 days and it's had 6 showings. So, and then you're also moving to Florida, to South Florida. So she is at some point going to want to just go to $415,000. Obviously, it's a bit easier if I know that because we don't know about our client, but just for the sake of this video, that's just the context. And yeah, we're going to roll it right in, okay? Sound good?
Sound good. Ready.
Cool. Hey, Kara, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, I'm doing great. So I just wanted to set up this meeting as I promised I would, that I would be meeting with you or calling you to discuss a bit of a market update after about the 10 to 14 days and what we need to do moving forward to discuss what's taking place in the market. Is that fair?
Yep, that sounds good.
Perfect. So far, as you know, we have been listed for about 10 days. We have had 6 showings come through in those 10 days, which six showings is pretty good. No offers yet, but 6 showings is definitely some decent traction. We have been listed at $425,000, which is the price that we decided at the time of listing the home. Mm-hmm. So far, as you know, we have been seeing the feedback coming in. Now, the majority of the buyers, I would say the most common feedback we are receiving is the buyers are not necessarily in love with the size of the lot, which we knew going into was going to be something we'll be working against given our comparisons. And while there's nothing we can do to maybe, change our lot size, right? There are some ideas I have to help maybe trigger that. And I want to refresh your memory. When we initially spoke on listing the home, you may recall that there is going to be 1 of 3 outcomes that will occur once we do go ahead and put the home up for sale. Do you recall what I mentioned about those outcomes?
Yep.
Yeah, so basically out of those 3 outcomes, there's going to be one of the 3 things. So the first thing that could occur is you get a lot of interest and certainly some offers, and that means everything was done right. The price was correct, the marketing was all done. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't the situation that occurred, but it was one potential outcome which did not happen, okay? Mm-hmm. The second thing that could have occurred is we put the home on the market. We received some showings and maybe an offer or 2 or just no offers at all, and that's currently where I believe we're at right now. And the third and final outcome could be we get some interest, little to no offers at all, but just little showing activity. That means you definitely started too high. So the good news is we're not in that boat because we've had 6 people who've came out to see your home, and at the same time with 6 people who have came out to see your home and have not been willing to write an offer, what they're telling us indirectly is that they don't see enough value in the home to move forward with an offer and do so. So how do you feel about that at this time?
Well, it's only been 10 days and none of them want to put an offer in?
Yeah, so at this point, no one is willing to write an offer. However, there are some things we can do to help maybe trigger that to actually happen. Are you open to having that conversation with me?
Well, did you follow up with any of the agents? Was there any other feedback?
Yeah. So without question, every single agent has been directly contacted by myself. We've reached out for their feedback, which I've been sharing with you, as you've been seeing. Yeah. And based on that, right, there are some things, although they have been giving us the feedback and no offers, there are some ideas I have to help maybe have them either move forward or perhaps attract a new buyer pool altogether. Are you open to discussing those options with me?
Yeah, we can discuss.
Yeah, so far as you know, as a real estate agent, I study homes and prices each and every single day, mm-hmm. right? We have had a conversation that, especially in this market, that prices are fluid, and based on what I'm seeing so far, in order to get one of those 6 buyers to come forward with an offer and or perhaps attract a new buyer altogether, I really believe we need to get the home adjusted to the $400,000 mark. Now, I understand that's $25,000 below what we're currently asking. And while this sounds backwards, Kara, you actually have a better chance of getting $400,000 for your home at this time by pricing it at $399,900, $400,000, than you do by just letting it set at $425,000. So let me ask you a question. Would you be open to adjusting the price now so we can help the listing stand out, not only to the 6 buyers who've already seen your home, but to other buyers who have no clue your home's currently up for sale?
We definitely can't do $400,000. We've invested a ton in it.
Yeah, I get it. And the good news is you guys do have this home very rare for sale. The feedback on the house itself has been great, other than the fact that we're dealing with a smaller lot, right? And what tends to happen, Kara, after being on the market for that 7 to 10 day period is the market tells you what the home is actually worth, right? And the market tells you that with an offer or without an offer. And basically essentially what the buyers are saying is with 6 people who left came out to see your home and no one's willing to write an offer, what they're telling us is that they are simply seeing the values too high. So unless you want to become a stale listing, Kara, I'm going to suggest we get this adjusted sooner rather than later. May I explain?
Yeah, of course.
So when we take a look at the most popular search criteria here in your neighborhood, here in Pond Mills, the price bracket of 300 to 400,000 is going to be that most popular search price point. And my fear is we're currently just outside that most popular search criteria because the buyers are capping their search at $400,000. So if we can actually get your home to the $399,900 mark, we actually still have a chance of getting you with a number of the 4 in front of it, because what we know is buyers ultimately make their offers simply based on overall value. And if they haven't made their offer yet, then what they're telling us is they do see the value as being a little bit too high. Make sense?
Well, I hear what you're saying, but when we initially spoke, you wanted to price the home at $415,000, and now you're wanting to place us in a category between $300,000 to $400,000. And our Pond Mills home isn't between that price range, so I'm confused as to why you're asking for the lower price bracket.
Correct, yeah. And one of the reasons I'm suggesting this, Kara, is when we take a look at the deficit we're working with, and in this case, the deficit we're working with is working against having a smaller lot. The way you overcome that deficit, Kara, is by making the price stand out and look more attractive. So what we need to happen is we need a buyer who's looking between the $300,000 to $400,000 mark to say, wow, I can't believe this home. I can't believe this home is actually priced in this category. I gotta go there and buy this home before somebody else does, right? Because the name of the game is getting out there before, someone else jumps on the home.
Right.
Because what's happening right now, Kara, is the buyers who are looking at your home, while it's priced at $425,000, guess what? They're also looking at homes that are priced also at $425,000, but $450,000, $475,000, they're going up to $500,000. And once you start getting even just past the $425,000 mark, Carrie, you're now competing with more new square footage range, bigger lots, walkout basins, other kitchens. Like we just cannot compete with those homes at that time.
Yeah.
We're currently competing with those homes, and we need to compete with the lower price homes, not the higher ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, but we talked and we don't want anything less than $415,000. We did the math, and $415,000 is where we feel the lowest that we can go is.
Right. So what I hear you saying is you did the math, and you need to net in order to net what you're looking for. You're looking to sell at about $415,000. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. And let me ask you, when you're going shopping for homes in South Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go shopping for your homes with your agent down there, the one that I referred you down there, you find the home you like, everything kind of checks out, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have that agent do research on the home, right? You don't want to overpay for the home.
Right.
So once you've done your research and have also had the agent speak to that seller, the seller's agent, based on that, everything that's come in, are you going to make an informed decision based on what the seller feels they need, or what the home is worth through comparable sales and market activity?
Well, definitely what the home's worth and compared to the market, not what the seller needs to net.
Exactly. And don't you agree that every single buyer right now is going to think exactly like you?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so that's exactly why, Kara. The price of $400,000, I suggest we get that adjusted immediately. Okay, I can get it done first thing Monday morning, right as we head into a brand new week. It's going to get blasted out on all the social media channels at a new attractive price, and ultimately we're going to start on the week as a fresh set of Lex. I really feel like that's going to be the best way to situate you moving forward and get you the most amount of money for the home.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I hear you, but we need to talk a little bit financially. $415,000 is the lowest that we're planning to go. Even if you are right, there's no way that we could do it at this time. We just have to think about it.
Okay, so there's just no way you can do that this time?
No, not at this time. We need to talk and.
Yeah, fair enough. So when you say there's no way, just help me understand, like piece this together. Like, is this a cash position you're in, an affordability thing? Just help me understand what that means.
It's just, to get to the next spot, we need to net this amount of money, and we need to crunch the numbers and sit down and talk about it. It's kind of it's a big jump. I wasn't expecting to just go right into it. So, I just need some time to think. just
Right.
to get me to that next step, right?
Yeah, so you're just taking in consideration what you need to net here in order
Yeah.
to make the move possible over there, right?
We don't want to be over there and, not have enough to find the house that we want.
Okay, fair enough. So let me ask you then, Kara, if nobody shows up and gives you that 415 number during this entire process, are you just going to go ahead and cancel your plans of moving to South Florida?
Well, no, we really want to go there.
Yeah, so
That's our plan.
right. So is it then just possible? My point is, Kara, is it possible you can maybe just sacrifice just a few things in the next home you're buying in order to make the move possible altogether by selling the home here?
Yeah, I guess we could cut costs a little bit. We could sacrifice a couple things, but not too much. We have big plans.
Okay, so you guys have big plans. Okay, got
Yeah.
it for sure. So here's what I'm gonna say, Kara. While I do appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
Do I just have your permission to be honest upfront with you about something?
Yeah, of course. We hired you for that. So.
Right. So it's my job to tell you the truth. You do want the truth, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the truth is, Kara, the longer your home sits on the market at 425,
Yeah.
the less you're gonna place in your back pocket, because time on the market, your days on market, is the number one enemy to any home's value at that. May I explain?
Yeah.
You bought this home in 2012, right?
Right.
Okay, so when you bought the home at that time, I'm sure you had some questions to your agent as, what's the age of the roof, furnace, AC, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did it ever occur to you, or did you ever ask your agent at that time as to how long the home had been on the market?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was something that we asked right away.
Right, and what reason did you take importance to the time on the market?
We just kind of thought that, more time on the market, we can have better negotiating power. Maybe why is it sitting so long? Things like that. Just kind of maybe thought we could give them a lower price.
Right, so what I just heard you saying is one of two things. Either number one, what's wrong with the home, or number two, we could get a better deal, correct?
Yeah.
And don't you agree, Kara, that most buyers are going to be having the same train of thought as you, especially in today's shifted market?
I mean, probably, when you put
Most
it that
likely,
way.
yeah. So, again, you guys hired me to tell you the truth. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing my job. I would honestly, in fact, Kara, I'd be doing you a total disservice if
Yeah.
I allowed you guys to keep the price up at 425 any longer. So, with your permission, I would like to get it adjusted first thing Monday morning.
Yeah.
Will you grant me with that?
I mean, Miguel, financially we planned on 415,000. I don't think we can give you an answer right now. I know that you're trying and trying to work with us. I just need a little time just to think about it. Can we just talk it over?
Yeah, you can certainly just
Yeah.
talk it over. Like, you can definitely have some time. And just let me ask you, like, imagine I had a buyer, like, right now. They called the sign or whatever, and I had a buyer that I was helping. And they're like, okay, they showed up to your doorstep, briefcase full of $400,000 cash. They can match all your price terms, condition, everything.
Yeah. I mean, it would be hard to say no to that.
Yeah, so you're telling me you tell them to get off your porch or no?
No, probably not. I mean, no
No.
conditions. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my point here is, Kara, is you understand, right? The market isn't what it was a few months ago, definitely not a few years ago, right? It's shifting.
Yeah.
And you hired me to tell you the truth, accomplish your goals, and get you the most amount of money for this home. And while this advice sounds a little bit backwards, it kind of sounds like I'm working against you. This is the true ultimate advice to get you guys moving forward, get you the most amount of money for the home that you can get for it right now, and hit your timing needs. Fair enough?
Yeah. I mean, can't believe we're losing this much money, especially after the renos. Why not 415? So we don't have to make the difference.
Split the difference.
Split the difference, yeah.
Yeah, you can certainly do that. By the way, Kara, this is your home. You can do whatever you want with it. It is your decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And what I believe would be happening, Kara, is that if you just went to 415, we're just going to end up delaying the inevitable. Because what's going to happen, assuming we did go to 415 today, and then another 10 to 14 days goes past, and we have to have this conversation again, right? You're following?
Yeah.
And then we go from 415 to 400.
Yeah.
At that point, the home has now been on the market for about a month, about 30 days, and 415 to 400 at that time is just looking like a small drop, given it's already the second price reduction. That's not going to be attractive enough for the buyers in today's market, right? My job is to help you make sure your home stands out and look attractive, and ultimately have a buyer saying, we need to get on this home before somebody else does. Because you still are only 10 days on the market, you can still take full advantage of that, right?
True.
So again, I would honestly be doing you a disservice if I allowed you guys to keep the home up at this price any longer. However, I do understand as I deal with this on a frequent basis in today's market.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we got 400,000, we'll need to bring some more money to the table. But if that's what you're suggesting we do, then we'll just have to figure it out and talk about it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it's, again, my job is to be honest and transparent with you, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't be doing that. And I just truthfully want you guys to be, after all this is said and done, happy at the closing table with the keys in hand and ultimately being moved out to Florida where you guys ultimately are meant to be. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I appreciate all your honesty and your hard work in this. I don't know. I just don't know if we can do that. We looked at our options, and I mean, it's only been 10 days, so I don't know. We could do 415.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. So what I hear you saying, okay, so you're just saying, nope, that's it, 415,
Yeah.
take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can appreciate that. So why don't we do this? What I'm going to do for now, Kara, is I'm going to respectfully decline that reduction.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to take the night to sleep on it because my gut feeling is just telling me that if we do decide to go to 415 now, we're really not going to like the position we'll be in 2 weeks from now. So why don't you go ahead, just have a glass of wine, whatever you want to do. It's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Take the night to sleep on it, and in the morning when I call you on Saturday, you're going to tell me one of two things. Either let's go ahead and do it, 400, let's go, or you're going to tell me, no, keep it at 415. However, I feel like I'd be doing you a very big disservice if I didn't at least ask you to take some sincere thought. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I really appreciate the time. I think that'll help us give some clarity and just talk it over and discuss, I do understand where you're coming from, but just the night to think about it would be great, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll give you a call in the morning and we'll take it from there, okay?
Absolutely, sounds good.
So ring.
Hello?
Hello, Kara. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I just wanted to take the time to just give you a quick call based off our conversation last night. Have you had a chance to kind of think things over, discuss, like, what are some of the things you thought about?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about all the things that you said, and even taking that night just to talk it over and discuss. I mean, we have big plans, but I understand the market, and you can't control the market, and we don't want to be in a position months down the line where we can't sell, or we're selling for way lower than what we expected. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with the 400,000.
Yeah, and while I can appreciate that, and again, I know there's a lot of work put into that yesterday and some back and forth.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've worked with someone, Kara, in this market, and while the spring's showing some good vital signs for sure, that we're seeing some increase, this isn't a market you want to take risk on, because the amount of times I've seen someone who's decided to kind of hold, they end up losing money because the market chases them downward, and it all boils down to that time in the market. So let's go ahead, we'll get your home, I'll send you the listing paperwork right now, and we'll relist it first thing Monday morning. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. You're a tough negotiator, Miguel.
That's why you're hiring me, so yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. That was 18 minutes, so
Cool.
price adjustment done, and that's it.